Okay, because I can't hear anything. Let's see. All right, now I hear somebody. Okay, good. So tonight we are going to talk about one of the subjects that everybody always wants to discuss, like everybody. They always want to discuss recruiting and sponsoring. So we are going to deep dive into that. We're going to also have an interactive activity. So if you want to be able to be part of it, you have to be on the Zoom link because there's no way I can do it with Facebook. But if you can't be on it, it's fine. You'll still see some things on Facebook, but you won't be able to see the breakout rooms. And you may even see me where we'll see how it goes because I have no idea how it's going to go. But anyway, thank you guys for being here tonight. I know that it's a lot to take away from your family and to invest in a little bit of time. Tonight, it's going to go a little bit longer than it normally does. It's normally an hour. It'll probably be about an hour and a half, maybe shorter. But I want to cover a lot of things. I want to talk about recruiting, sponsoring, do our activity, and then show you guys something called a bar report. So you know how to measure your business and how it's going to grow. All right. So let's just jump right in. And then if anyone wants to, share anything, you can let me know. And I'm also going to be screen sharing in just a little bit. You may see my cat, my dog. I don't know what's going to happen here, but that's the beauty of this business. We can make it whatever we want it to be. So I want to talk about recruiting because that is something that you learn how to do it all the time, even whenever you're not really thinking about doing it. And I've wrote a lot of notes, so you guys will see me reading from some of my notes because I really had to sit down and think about how do I want to talk to you about recruiting and sponsoring without making it sound like this is something that you have to do, making it sound like this is how you do it. Because everybody always wants to know what is the magic formula, and there is not a magic formula. What there is doing it consistently and learning how to have it in your business as a lifestyle. And so I can tell you what not to do, and we can start there, and then we can move into all the other things. So first thing I want to ask you guys is, has anyone had a new teammate join us this month? Because it is a $49 kit, which means you're going to get that awesome $99 kits for $49. So if you are not taking this month to sponsor and share that opportunity, you are really, really missing out, because right now is one of the best times in the world to be able to join, especially whenever it's transition month. Last month, they had the $25 kit, which was amazing. They even had earned the $500 kit, was also incredible. This month, they have that really big kit for $49. So I think it's a great time. All right. So I want to talk to you about things not to do. First of all, this business is not about you. I hate to tell you that, but it's not. It is about blessing other people, serving other people, helping them make a difference in the world. And if you can help other people reach their dreams and reach their dream paychecks and be able to establish a lifestyle that they've always dreamed of, guess what? You're going to also be able to live the dreams and the lifestyle you want. It's always about helping others and building relationships for you to actually get the things that you want in return. If you make it about you, people are going to know it's about you, and they're not going to want to join you. There's nothing worse than, and I know some people do this, and I know I'm going to be stepping on some toes here, and I'm sorry, but when you put something on Facebook, when I see my friends that sell other things say, help me earn this trip, help me, I'm this far away, help me. The one thing I see is, what's in it for me? Yeah, I'm going to help you and I want to see you go do these things, but what about me? It's not about you in this business. And that is something that it's really hard to understand. If you are on, well, let's just say that you're a Scentsy consultant and you are saying that I can't find anybody to join. I can't find anybody who's interested in this opportunity. But then I go and look at your Facebook page and I don't see anything about you sharing your opportunity. I don't see anything about you talking about how the products have made a difference in your life. I don't see anything about, how this has blessed you. I'm probably not going to take you seriously. And if I ever even consider joining Scentsy, I'm probably not going to go under you because you don't seem excited about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for someone who is excited about it and that will show me the way. Does that make sense? I mean, I know it sounds like awful, but it happens all the time. There's so many times that I have talked to people. There was one time in particular that I talked to someone about doing basket parties and always following up with her. And I was just, so happy that she was going to do a party for me every single season. And I was so focused on her joining me whenever there were other people in that area who wanted to join as well. And I was so focused on her doing it, and she kept saying no, and she kept saying no, and she kept saying no, that the people that around her that I could have offered the opportunity to ended up joining under someone else. And I was just like, oh my God, why didn't I ask them? Because I was so focused on this girl doing it. I was so focused on her seeing that you would be so great at this. Why don't you understand how great you would be at this? You always have great parties for me. Why don't you understand? One day she'll come around, and next thing I know, she messages me and says, hey, I don't need to do any more parties for you because so-and-so joined at our company. And I'm like, oh, why didn't I talk to everybody from our party instead of just focusing on that one thing, right? Okay. So what about people who love to wear the Scentsy brand, right? You have it on your car, you have it on your shirt, you have it all over you, you've branded yourself. That's step one, but you don't talk about it to anybody, right? So I know people who have more Scentsy shirts than I do, but they're still certified consultants, and it's been 10 years because they have never, ever gone into those recruiting conversations because they're already telling themselves that the people are going to say no. And that's something we're going to talk about. What about people who say, okay, on Friday is my recruiting day. I've got my systems, customer day, recruiting day, team day. Well, if you don't have a team, follow-up day. But on Fridays are my recruiting day. Guys, it's great that you might have a recruiting day. It's great you have a sponsoring day set aside. But if you don't turn this into something that you do in your life consistently, it's almost like breathing for me now. I'm always going to talk about it. I'm not going to say, hey, will you join my team? But there are ways that I end up sharing Scentsy that I don't even know that I'm doing it. But if I'm actively saying, okay, today is my recruiting day, if I've already told myself stories that people are going to say no, and people are going to say, oh, I'm not interested, guess what I'm going to do on Friday? Friday, I'm going to turn it into Freebie Friday because everybody wants something free. And I'm not going to talk about recruiting because sometimes we can talk ourselves right out of something that we want to do. This turns into when you start sponsoring and you start seeing the lives that can change through this, it will change from a Friday thing to an everyday thing. There won't be a certain day that you will talk to people about sponsoring. It will be every single day. Look, I still get intimidated when I think about sponsoring. There are stories that I tell myself, what if I'm not the right leader for them? What if I say the wrong thing? What if they're not interested? What if they fail? And I start focusing on all those things that I can keep myself from doing it. But we are robbing people of so many things when we do not share this opportunity. There are people out there that need a community. There are people out there that need that extra money to get a pedicure to get away from their kids because they're with them all the time. There are people that are stuck in jobs that are being micromanaged that wish they could be home with their kids. We're robbing them of such a great blessing when we do not share the opportunity. So I like to start out sometime with people that I know that love Scentsy. Look, I have even messaged people who have come up to me and said, hey, can I know more about Scentsy? I'll message them. They've even asked me about it and they'll ghost me, or they'll say no, or they'll say, let me talk to my husband, or they'll say, I'll get back to you. But guess what? I don't stop because even though I heard no, even though I don't get a response back, I didn't die. That's the one thing. Everybody's so scared to have these conversations because they're so scared something bad's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen except you're going to hear the word no. And if you're not hearing no, then you're not having conversations. I hear no every single day. Every day. Nope, I'm good. I want to stay your customer. Nope, I'm good. I would never be good at that. Nope, there's too many people selling. I hear it all the time. And that's something we're going to do in a little while is activities around this. But you have to be able to have those conversations in order to say no. So let's look at the reasons why. I want you to use the chat, and I want you to tell me reasons why you do not ask people to join you. So let's use the chat and let's talk about that for a second, because that's the first thing you have to do is you have to go ahead and get the elephant out of the room and say, you know what, Shannon, the reason I am not having these conversations is because why? Can you guys come up with some reasons? I'm going to see if anybody says anything over here. Because I told you, the stories that we tell ourselves, even Mel Robbins talked about the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, you don't want to be pushy. That's a great one. I don't want to be pushy. Not sure on how to have the conversation. Well, that's one. That's a good one. Think about it like, how would you want to hear someone approach you? If you think about you being in the other side of that, think about how would you want to be approached, right? You don't want to sound pushy. Then I want you to think about someone that you wouldn't hear the word vomit. You wouldn't hear this. You have to make this more of a blessing for people. You have to share this. You have to really fill in the blanks, which we're getting ready to talk about. So for example, I had a girl on my team. She was and these are excellent, excellent reasons that we get scared not to do it, right? But you can't be a good sponsor until you finally become a sponsor. How do you even know if you'd be a good sponsor if you don't even try, right? So you've got to be able to get out there. Sometimes you don't have the words to start. You just start. You just do it. I mean, there's so many times that I've done things in my life and I'm like, what if I don't do it right? Or what if this happens? Or what if that? Why don't I just do it? And I learn along the way because I already know. I'm here telling you, you're going to hear no. You're going to hear no. If you've built relationships with people and you have a good conversation with them and you bring up the opportunity and they say no, it's not a no, you suck. It's no, it didn't fit for them right now. There are people from 10 years ago that are joining me now that are like, I wish I would have said yes 10 years ago. But you know what? I'm like, I'm glad you didn't, because now is your season. Then it's not your season.
Are you done?
So you've got to really think about the conversations that you would have. Okay.
Are you done?
And I don't have the experience that I changed your life. Doesn't matter. That's why we have a team.
I need to get back to my thing, Daddy.
From other people to be able to share.
You're not done?
Somebody didn't have their mic off. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys. Sorry. Okay. So I had a girl that was on my team that was a stay-at-home mom. I had told myself, well, let me change that. Not on my team. She's in a group, not on my team. She's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband made a ton of money. I had told myself that she did not need this opportunity, that she already had it made, that she had a husband that made good money and she was at the pool all the time and she was going on all these trips. And why would she need Scentsy, right? Why would she need Scentsy? So I never even offered it to her. Next thing I know, she's popping over here in this other company, rocking it out. And I'm like, what? Why would she join that? I mean, she doesn't need anything. And I see her story about how her life has changed, how she never knew that she needed an out for herself, that she was always home with her kids and she just needed a community. And this company was amazing. Well, now she's in our group because that company, I guess they went bankrupt. I don't know what happened to them, but now she's in our group because she joined under someone else. But it was a lesson that I told myself that I cannot judge a book by its cover, that I cannot assume and say no for someone when I haven't even asked them yet, right? So in order to get those yeses, you have to hear those nos. So right now, I just want you guys to know that you can do this. All you have to do is ask. That's it. You ask. If you say no, you write down, Mary said no, Sharon said no, Diane said no. And it means you go back to them later. Because when people say no to me, I don't end it at no and then forget them forever. I'll say, I understand that. It might not be right for you right now. But do I have permission to ask you again when we have another join special? Do I have permission that whenever you do a basket party for me and you're at $500 again and you've earned the kit to ask you about this again? Yeah, sure. That sounds great. And I keep it open because if you talk to them and ask permission to be able to follow up with them, that's gonna be great. And then it gets to the point where you might have asked them 4 or 5 times that when they call you and have a $150 order, you're like, oh my God, will you join already? Do you know how much you could have already made? And then I can talk to them like, hello, but I'm not going to do that in the very beginning. But you have to have those conversations, okay? So I want you to think about this. I learned something really cool. So Shannon is on our team. And when we were away in Utah, I can't even tell you how many times we had gum. And she would say, and Shannon, if I got this wrong, it's fine. You have to forgive me, but I'm pretty sure I got it right. And we would offer her gum. And she'd go, no, I do not like peppermint. I do not like peppermint. And then I'd forget. And I'd be like, hey, you want some gum? I do not like peppermint. And she'd tell me she didn't like peppermint. But guess what she did like? She liked gummy bears and gummy worms. And I love gummy bears and gummy worms. So every time that she told me, no, I don't want that, I didn't cry. I'd be like, oh, well, I'm not going to offer you any more gum. Instead, I'm like, well, you know what? When I get something sugary and it's a kind of gum, she might like that. But I know that if I have some gummy worms, she's going to take the gummy worms. So you get to know your customers and you get to know your potential, teammates and your future teammates by knowing what they like, by filling in those gaps, by knowing, you know what? They might not be a stay-at-home mom. They might need that extra money to be able to put aside for Christmas. They might not be, needing a community. They might actually need the money. They may never have been on a trip forever with their husband. They might need a way to be able to show them an outlet to be able to take him on a free trip. So it's just like that example. Maybe they do not relate to my story, but maybe they relate to Sharon's story. Maybe they don't relate to Sharon's story, but maybe they relate to Annette's story. Just like the gum. Just like I know gummy bears. If I show up with them, she's going to sit with me and eat with them all day. I know she is because I sat there and ate with her on the plane. So it's the same kind of thing. Some people say I'm too busy, right? Guess what? The busiest people make the best consultants because they know how to time manage. And then some people say, well, if I was less busy with my job, that's how we can show them how to work this business. Or some people, they need to be busy. They need something to do because they have nothing else to do. Look, I was there. I painted every room in this house. I organized every single shelf. I was Martha Stewart and Betty Crocker and all the things. And I still had something missing. And that is how it is with other people. Like I said, it's almost a crime not to offer this blessing to other people, especially when you know it can bless their life. And I'll say that to people. I'll say, hey, this might be for you. It might not be for you. But this is the opportunity. And this is why I think it would bless you. And if they're like, no, that's when I go back and say, well, do I have permission to ask you again? That is the one thing that you will learn, that they will not think you're spammy. They will not think you're pushy. They will actually see that you respect them. You respect their decision and you don't push. Okay. All right. So I want you to think about it. Do we really know anyone who says, nope, I don't want any more friends. My friend bucket is completely full. Nope, I don't want any more money. I'm good. I don't need any more money. I don't want to go on any free trips. Are you kidding me? No, I don't know anybody that would say no to that. So that is why you have to know that every single person that is walking and breathing on this earth has some kind of desire that I believe that this business introduced into their life could actually open up that outlet for them. Some people are going to join because there's something in it for them. Every single one of you guys right now can probably sit there and say, I joined for this reason. But I would be willing to bet that why has changed and that why has evolved over time. You might have needed the money. You might have needed a discount. You might have did it for the community. But then you're like, wow, I did not expect this to come out of it, right? So first of all, you have to be able to identify what is it that Scentsy does for you? What is it that makes you want to share that opportunity? What is it that makes you so happy to change your wax and show the world how good your house is going to smell? You have to identify that first. And when you identify that, guess what? You got somewhere to start. Because if you don't even know right now why you use the products, if you don't even know right now why you even joined, if you don't even know any of that, you're not going to be able to sponsor anybody. Because why would you join under someone who has no freaking idea why they even joined a company, right? There's a reason, and that is what's going to help you. So right now, I want you to sit down and I want you to get out a sheet of paper and I want you to write down 10 to 20 people that you would want to ask to join your team. I want you to think about people that you know in network marketing that may be not happy in their network marketing. I know a lot of network marketing people right now that are not happy with their company because of changes that have happened. I want you to think about teachers. I want you to think about nurses. I want you to think about people that you are friends with, that you can grow this with. I want you to dream big and brave, because it's only whenever we do those hard things that we can see the results that we want. But you don't want to be sitting on the other side and watching them rock it out under someone else in Scentsy when you could have asked them, or rock it out in another business whenever you might could have asked them, and then see that business go bankrupt and then lose everything, knowing you might have had that chance to change their life, right? And I promise you that when you ask someone to join your team and when you offer that opportunity and they say no to you, they are not going to think about it for another second. They're not going to be like, can you believe Shannon asked me to join her team? Oh my God. And then an hour later, can you believe Shannon Grant asked me to join her Scentsy team? What was she thinking? Then she's going to bed. Can you believe that she? No, they're not going to even freaking think about it. 1 second, they're going to say no to you and they're going to move on. And then that's whenever you ask them, can I continue to ask you? Because I really believe that this is going to help you in your lifestyle and bless you. Like I said, this is a lifestyle. And whoops, I don't know why that keeps happening. But I'm going to use Christianity for a second. And some of you are Christians, some of you believe different ways, and that's fantastic. But I'm going to use Christianity because this is my faith. And I am a Christian, and I try and walk and talk and act like a Christian, right? I'm not going to say that I love the Lord and put all these things on Facebook and then turn around and do things that I would be ashamed of. It's the same kind of thing with Scentsy. I know it sounds crazy, but how many times have you thought about if you're at church and they call themselves a Christian? Oh my goodness. That's what we think about when we see people saying, you sell Scentsy, but I never freaking see you ever talk about the opportunity. I never see you ever showing anyone, how it solves problems or, how it's blessed your life. Like, they're really a Scentsy consultant? I had no idea they were a Scentsy consultant. I would have never thought they were a Scentsy consultant. I see them at Walmart all the time buying Glade plugins. So I'm saying that if you are a consultant, you need to be your best customer. You need to know the products. You need to share the opportunity, and you need to share it so much that people know the girl down the street that has that white Jeep, she's a Scentsy consultant. If you don't know, she'll tell you, because you got to act as if everybody knows you're a consultant. I lived in this neighborhood for a long time thinking everybody knew I was a consultant because they saw all the boxes that were hitting the porch, but they did not know. And when I would say it, they're like, really? You're a Scentsy consultant? And that changed my world. Like, oh, I need to have an open house for my whole neighborhood and let them know I am a Scentsy consultant. I need to let my friends know that I'm on Facebook. I am a Scentsy consultant. And this is years and years ago where I was like, I better start walking the walk and talking the talk and not being a closet consultant, right? Okay. So like I said, this is a lifestyle. And this is something that I believe that we really have to be excited about. We have to have this contagious way about us whenever we are talking about our job. Think about it. You do it all the time. You go to a movie and go, that was the best movie. Everybody needs to go watch Thor. It is so good. If you are a Marvel fan, you need to go watch Thor because blah, 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 blah. Or you find a sale on Black Friday at Best Buy. I can't believe I got that sale. That was the best sale ever. Go to Best Buy. They've only got 15. Why are we the best advertisements for things that don't pay us than we are for the things that actually pay us? Right? I mean, that makes no sense to me. how people will put all this stuff online and they're not getting paid for it at all. Whenever I'm like, oh, if you're a Scentsy consultant and you put out this cleaning buckets like I did today, I've already got 20 orders for cleaning buckets. They know how much I love it. They've seen me go live with it. They know it works. They saw the dish soap that I used the other day. They saw Steve using it on his motorcycle whenever he was washing his motorcycle. They've seen the kids clean the mantle off with it and get permanent marker off of it. They know it works because I have shown them. Now there's a deal on it and I'm going to message them and I'm getting 20 orders because they know what I say is what I do. And if I love it and I believe in it, then they know that I am going to take care of them, right? Okay, so you have to be excited and you have to make this a contagious thing. So like I said, everybody's going to be joining for different reasons. So just because you joined because of the discount doesn't mean who you're talking to is going to do the same thing. You will never know what someone else needs unless you ask them. And that's where that scale from 1 to 10 comes in. If you're talking to someone and say, how much do you love your job from a scale to 1 to 10? And they're like a 5. Well, what would make it a 10? If I had more vacation time, if I had more flexibility, if I didn't have someone who micromanaged me, if I could stay home with the kids. Now you know where to start. Now you need to know, you know what? I have a girl on our team that actually just quit her job and she stays home and does Scentsy full time. But she didn't do that right away. She had to work Scentsy about 3 or 4 years until she was able to hit the income she was making here. But now she's so happy. Would you be interested in knowing more? I mean, you have to fill their gap. It's about solving problems. It's about how this journey has worked for you. It is about what works in your life with it. Like today, I was sitting at the hairdresser looking all kind of crazy with all the aluminum foil and everything in my hair, getting it highlighted. Had my scents with me, was putting in orders for the hey-heys because I have to have a hey-hey because everybody knows me. If you know me, I always start my conversations with hey. That's it. So my husband has a joke. He's like, you need that hey-hey because you're the hey girl. But I was picking up orders at the hairdresser whenever I had my scents there. And I was talking to them about it because I was in a queue waiting to be able to put orders in. And everybody's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm putting in orders. I have all these customers who want this hey, and they want Wally and they want this. And look, if you want to smell the scents, go ahead and smell the scents because I'm putting in an order now and I'm going to go ahead and get them for you. It worked in my life. One girl was like, I had no idea that you could work Scentsy like that. I thought that I see so many people on YouTube that sit behind a desk and they're on their computer all the time and they're telling people what to do and they're doing this. And she exhausts me because she makes it look so hard. I didn't make it look hard. All I did was sit in a freaking chair and get my hair done and collect orders. You have to make this look simple. If you make it look hard, nobody's going to want to join you. If I make it look hard to be a director, no one's going to want to ever become a director, right? So you got to think, is what I'm doing right now duplicatable for anyone who just joins to be able to do this too? Yeah. If they're going to advertise on social media and they're going to tell their friends that we're going to have a drop on Monday with Hey and Pua and all them, and they get the orders and they go get their hair done, yeah, they're going to be able to do what I do. So you have to make it look simple. A lot of people are relying on a bonus check at the end of the year. And it breaks my heart because I used to be there. I can't wait to get my Christmas bonus check. Can't wait to get my Christmas bonus check. I'm going to be able to get this, and this for my kids. Can't wait to get my Christmas bonus check. I'm only going to be able to get 1% raise a year, but I'll get it in this date. There's no ceiling in this business, guys. This business is what you put into it is what you get out of it every single time. I am no longer waiting on a bonus check. I am no longer waiting to get evaluated at what I am doing and how many phone calls I make. And I don't do smoke breaks, but I had eat breaks where I would go and snack. I no longer have to worry about that. If I want to make more, I work harder. If I want to make more, I will go and sponsor more. If I want to go make more, I will follow up more. I control what I do in this business. And you can too. If you know you want to make $600 a month without having a team member, guess what? You got to sell $2,000 a month, period. If you know that you want to grow a team and still make a certain amount, that's what it's called. It's called selling for today, recruiting. Selling today is your income for today, but recruiting is your income for tomorrow. And that is why it is so, so important. Because some people, when they talk to me and they're like, if I don't get my Christmas bonus this year, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I'm thinking, well, if you would have had this basket party for me and everybody's buying for Christmas and you would have sold this much, guess what you'd have gotten paid? And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna do that next year. And I actually have people that I'm setting up parties for that we're gonna flip, and they're gonna take that $600 and they're gonna put it on their family this year, because we use Scentsy money on family, not family money on Scentsy. And that is like the way that we have learned. So I want you to think about, how can you bless those people on that dream team list or that chicken list? You can call it chicken list, because chicken lists are people that we're scared to talk to, and dream team lists are people that we would love to have on our team. How would this opportunity actually bless them? And if you can't answer that question, you don't know enough about them to be even having this conversation with them. If you don't know what they do, what they wish they had more of, if they wanted time with their kids, if they needed just a little bit of extra time for themselves, if they needed that extra money to pay the mortgage. Because I know people who are paying extra mortgage payments to get their houses down, their payments down from their Scentsy paycheck. I know people who are actually changing lives by giving back through their Scentsy paycheck. I know people who have $50,000 and $80,000 checks a month in Scentsy. And that sounds insane, right? It sounds insane. But these people have no problem showing you and saying, yes, I've been in it. And this is what I did. And this is how I did it. And this is how long I did it. And I was consistent and I didn't stop. When I heard no, I kept going. I didn't die. If I'm asking, then that means my business is open. I had to get up. I had to shake it off. I had to keep going. That is what every successful person is going to tell you in this world. That if you get up and you keep going and you learn from those mistakes and you take those setbacks and you make them a setup for a comeback, you will succeed. You will always succeed if you keep going. But the minute you quit is the minute you fail. And that is what is so hard for people, is that they're like, but I tried. Well, tried is past tense for that you're not doing it anymore, that you're not trying anymore, that you're giving up. So that is why a lot of people get really scared, because they're already focusing on what happens if I fail? What happens if this does not work out for me? What happens if, I grow this and then I lose my people, whatever. Why do you focus on the negative stuff? Why don't we focus on what if it does work out for you? What if you're able to come home with those babies? What if you're able to pay extra money and for your daughter's wedding? What if you're able to change someone else's life? Because look, let me tell you something. I recruited one girl underneath me. She didn't do anything. She just kept doing her 200 and 200 and 200 and 200. She recruited someone who is actually a star director now. So if I wouldn't have recruited the one who was a hobbyist, and she accidentally recruited someone who made this a rock star business, you're one person away from changing your whole business. I've seen it done a million times. And when I say a million times, I can come up with, maybe not a million, but I can come up with a ton of examples. I have it in my life where I have some rock stars under me. And a lot of times they fall under someone else who really didn't want to work the business that much, and they just happen to recruit one person. So you cannot say, well, that person isn't going to be a rock star. Well, what about the person that they know and the people that they know? Because everybody knows at least 5 people that they would share this with. And if they say no, then you can ask other people, do you know someone that this could, bless their life around Christmas to get extra money? I sent out an email one time to a lot of my customers and said, do you guys know anyone who would be interested in making extra money with this? And I made them think. And they were like, you know what? I don't know anyone, but I would. And I just made them think about how that could change. If this is too dark, I need to turn on the light. Let's see if it will work. Okay, there we go. All right. So, like I said, you're robbing people who need to hear this, who may want it, and they're scared to even ask. You're also robbing people who'd be great at this. So you need to think about that. And if you're not hearing no, then that means you're not having conversations. So if I talk to you and you're like, let's have a strategy call. And I'm like, all right, tell me about all the no's you've heard. And you're like, I haven't. Then you're not having conversations. And if you're scared, it's okay. Because guess what? They're going to be scared too. And if they know you're in their corner and y'all are doing this together, and that at the end of the day, they didn't die whenever they ask someone, you're going to have more to talk about. You're going to have more to explore. You're going to have more bonding, and you're going to have more trust. Because when I come to you and tell you that I talked to 5 people today and I got no's, that 2 people might have ghosted me, 1 person said no, this, that, and the other, does that make you think less of me at all? Because I think at least I got out there, at least I tried, right? And if you come to me and say, Shannon, I talked to 15 people and every one of them said no, I'd be like, give me 5, girl. You got out there and you asked. Those no's are going to turn into maybes. It might not be for them right now, but the next basket party they do, or the next time that they see this killer warmer and these scents that they want, and they want to get paid for it on their own purchases, that might be for them. So I'm going to ask you again, before we go into our activity, what's in it for you? Figure out what is in it for you. So now you can start there when you're talking to other people and ask them, how are you enjoying what you do? You know, what could you change? If I had a magic wand and I waved it over your life, what would change? Most people are looking for more time. They're looking for more flexibility, or they're looking for more money every single time. My brother is a top recruiter in a franchise company, not direct sales. It's his own company. But I sat down with him and asked him some questions. I was like, you know, you have people call you all the time and they have to invest money in a franchise. Why don't you just let anybody and everybody, you know, invest in it? Why do you have to interview them? And he's like, because I want to know I'm filling a gap. I want to know, do they want more time? Do they want more flexibility? Do they want more money? What do you want? And let me see that we can change your life there. Because if I let everybody do it, then not everybody's going to succeed. And it's going to take away from my joy. But when I know someone says to me, hey, I need more time, what can I do? If I show you how to work your business in 1 hour a day, where you can still make a certain amount, yeah, you do it, right? If I told you to go into a room with 200 people and I said to you, when you leave that room, 6 people are going to be your rock stars and you're not going to have to go back to that job again. Or you're going to be able to pay your utility bill without having to have that second job. Or you're going to be able to do this. Would you be willing to go in there and talk to every single 200 people in that room and ask them if they were interested in that opportunity? Yeah, you would, because I've already given you a guarantee that your life is going to be completely different when you walk out of that room and those people join you. But we always think about, I wasted my time talking to 200 people. How in the world could that even change my life? That's going to be such a waste of time. They're not going to believe in themselves. I don't believe in myself. I'm not a good leader. I don't know enough yet. I don't know the product yet. Then I'm not going to even go in there. But then somebody else walks in there and they ask everyone, and you watch their business boom. And it's because you weren't brave enough to do those things. Look, I sit here and do the comparison game all the time, but I'm not willing anymore to sit back and watch other people do the hard things, because I'm willing to do the hard things because I know how well they change my life. I know how well they change other people's lives. When I have someone come back to me and say, thank you so much for this opportunity, you have no idea how it changed my life. And it could be completely small or it could be huge. I know I made a difference, and that is something that you guys need to know. So we have an activity, and I've asked, I don't know how many people we have on here. We have 17 people on here. So we're going to break you up into rooms, and we are going to do an activity about excuse busting with recruiting. We're going to go over some questions, and I want you guys to work together, and I want you to excuse bust these activities. Okay. Now, if you are on Facebook, I do not know that you're going to be able to see these breakout rooms. You may still be able to see me, but I'm not sure yet. So we'll just see how it goes. And if we disappear and I'm not there, then you know that we'll be back. Okay. So I've already got some people that are willing to do that. And I'm going to break you out into rooms right now. So give me 1 second and I'm going to put you in rooms. All right. Here we go. Room 1. Add a room, add a room, add a room. We have 4 rooms. So give me 1 second and I'm going to put you all in a room. Why is doing that? Okay. Move 2. Move 2. All right, hold on. Probably should have done this in the very beginning, but that's why I told you I need more time. 1, 2. All right, we have 17 people, so it needs to be 5. Okay. All right. You're going to be in there with her. All right, we're almost there. Got to do 3. I don't know how the iPhones are going to go in, but hopefully it will work. There's 2 Danas on here. Do we have 2 Danas in here, or is it Dana? The same Dana? Trying to make sure we have it in here. Okay, move 2. Where's Annette? Okay. All right. Room 3. Okay, Sharon, you are going to be in room 3. Okay.
Okay.
And the questions, I'll send it to you in a second. All right. Let's see who else we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if you are on Facebook and you want to be part of this activity, you need to join our Zoom right now. So I make sure that everybody has somebody in a room. Are there 2 Danas on here? Is it Dana Gady? Are you in both of them, or is there 2 Danas? The 2 Danas? Okay. All right. So we're going to keep you guys in room 1 together. All right. I think we're good. 1, 2, 3. All right. We have 3 rooms going on. And then I think somebody's going to be in a room with me. Okay. So Donnell, you have your questions. Sharon, I'm going to give you your questions. Annette, are you on here? I gave her questions earlier. I don't see her on here. Okay. We'll go. All right. We're getting ready to go into rooms. So you guys should have about 4 or 5 people in each room. Okay. And if you didn't get a room assignment, you're going to be with me. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, Sharon, I'm messaging you. Okay. Okay, who is in here? Annette, there you are. Okay, I can't see you. You're black and white. Okay. That is the weirdest thing. Okay, whose iPhone?
I don't know who.
Okay,
Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute.
you're like black and
My
white.
computer crazy
Okay,
crap.
whose iPhone?
I don't know who.
Okay,
Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute.
you're like black and
My
white.
computer. I don't know why. Hold on.
Okay, whose iPhone?
Oh, Jesus. Wait a minute.
You're like black and white. Okay,
I don't know why.
hold on a second. I'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Hold on. Let me come back on. Hold on a second.
Okay, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Hold on. Let me come back on.
Okay.
What is going on? On iPhone, Shannon. What is going on? On iPhone, Shannon. Close this off. I'll be right back. Hold on. On iPhone, Shannon.
Me at all? I'm guessing I can't see myself. Can you see me on Facebook? You can say no. Somebody just write yes or no. All right. Well, Oh my goodness. Can no one hear me? Did I just like do that and nobody could hear me? Okay. I guess nobody could hear me. If you can hear me now, tell me you can hear me. Can you hear me? Casey, can you hear me? Cassie, can you hear me? Monica, can you hear me? Okay. So I'm not sure who, I think Annette's coming on. So what we're asking everybody to do in these breakout rooms, while I have them in breakout rooms, is I am wanting them to go over these questions, which is everybody I know sells Scentsy. It's excuse busting 101. Whenever you're asking someone to join Scentsy and they say to you, well, everybody I know sells it, right? The second one is I'm not a salesperson. The third one is I've sold before and it was a really bad experience in another direct sales company. The fourth one is I don't know that many people. The fifth one is I can't afford the kit. And the last one is I don't have any time. That is what everybody is doing right now. If you're wondering, because you're only getting to see me in these breakout rooms, I've put them in. They are all discussing these excuses. So when I bring them back, we're going to get to hear what they have discovered by working with each other in these things. So while they are in there, why don't you guys use this to be able to tell me what you would think? So whenever someone says to you, everybody I know sells Scentsy, what do you say to them? I want to hear from you. I want you to put it in your Facebook chat below. I want you to think about also, what do you say to someone when they say, I'm not a salesperson? Are you a salesperson? I'm not. I just like to share the blessing with other people. So I want you to think about what is it that you say back to them. And I want you to write these down because these are excuses that you're going to hear along the journey all the time. The third one, I've sold before and it was a really bad experience with another direct sales company. What would you say to them then? Because guess what? We have 2 rock stars on our team now that came from other sales, from other companies who weren't very happy there, but they found happiness in what we do. The fourth one is, I don't know that many people. What do you say to people whenever they say that? I can't afford the kit. What do you say then? And I don't have time. Those are the ones that people are really coming back and saying, because like I said earlier, everyone's always looking for time, more flexibility, more money. And all those 3 areas are going to discuss one of those things. So use this time while we're getting everyone to work in their breakout rooms. I'll be bringing them back very soon. And tell me in the Facebook below, what do you say whenever you hear those things? Because this is going to be a great way for you to catalog these responses that they're going to come up with and to be able to share with other people why they joined Scentsy. An excuse bust. Now, there's going to be times whenever you're not going to want to excuse bust. Some people are going to really have a legitimate reason why they don't want to sell. And you never want to push them to a point of upsetting them, offending them, or being pushy. And it is okay for you to say, I understand, but I'm going to take care of you as my best customer. I'm going to put you in my VIP group. And when it is your time, girl, I am here. That is very important for you to understand that there is a time for you not to excuse bust. But there are also other times when people are like a green apple, they're not exactly ripe to do the business, but they're not exactly rotten, that you can talk to them and excuse bust their stories that they're telling themselves. Okay? So let me go check on them and see where we are. And you guys keep, putting it down below as I'm going away and checking on them. I want you to excuse bust those 6 things that I just told you about. Okay? Let me go check on them. Okay. That's so funny. You guys say you can see me because I cannot see myself on here at all. Because I have my Facebook up too. It's really weird. Anyway, okay. So we're getting ready to bring them back in just a minute. And we're going to find out how they're excuse busting. And like I told you, it was going to run a little bit longer tonight. And this is why. Because I really wanted to throw them into the game of hearing these excuses, really thinking them through, and us to be able to catalog all these responses to be able to help us with our journey as well. Okay, so I'm going to start bringing them back. Okay, here we go. They're getting a minute countdown right now. Okay, everybody should be coming back and joining us. Everybody's gonna get thrown right back in here in just a second. The countdown starting. No, stopping. 10 seconds. Okay, everybody should be back now. So, can you guys hear me okay? All right, good.
I hear.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right.
Yes.
So we're going to start with room number 1, and we're going to talk about the excuses that you guys heard. And who was in our room number 1? That's the spokesperson. Sorry. Is it Dana? Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on.
There I
you
am.
All right. Okay. So do you want to tell us what you guys discussed?
Yeah, sure. Blah, 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 blah. We had discussed, let me see, when they say too many people sell, we feel that there's always somebody that you'll be able to connect with. And not everybody knows about Scentsy. Every day I'm being told, what is that? What is Scentsy? Like, what is that? So, there might be a lot of people selling Scentsy, but there's not a lot of people talking about Scentsy.
That's good. Good.
And the other question, what do you tell them when when they say they did direct sales, they had a bad experience? I reached back to when I did another company, and it wasn't consumable products. So it was something you'd buy, you'd have forever. It was hard to sell. And let me see. I would tell them that, how Scentsy is different. The support system is different. The friendships you make. There's no pressure. Everybody just loves each other, And then also, if they said they had a bad experience, ask them why. Was it the products? Was it the people? Was it the support? Was it corporate? Was it customer service? Like, why? And then go from there.
I like that. Let them really tell us what it was they didn't enjoy. So then we know the gap that we're going to fill in. Thank you. Did anybody else have anything to share from that group? Okay. We're going to move to.
That was everything we talked about.
Awesome. Perfect. I love those answers. That's great. Okay. Group 2. I think I was Sharon Hunter, right?
No, I was group 3.
Okay, you were group 3.
No,
Donnell.
it was me, Shannon.
Okay, Donnell, you're group 2.
Mhm.
Okay, go for it. Tell us
The
what.
excuse, this is Stephanie, sorry. The excuse that I was gonna go over was how you can't leave the house and meet people. And basically it was, you don't have to. You don't have to leave your house to meet people. I mean, there's social networking, everybody that you already know, they know people. You can mail things, you can email, you can phone call. There's other ways of reaching out to people. You don't have to go out and actually physically meet people in person.
Okay, awesome. Was there another one?
Tanya was doing the other one.
Okay. Let me unmute you. Oh, okay, you did it. You're good. See if you can, there you go. Perfect.
There you go. Okay. So the other excuse we discussed was I don't have time, which I feel like is just an excuse for everything these days. But when you think about all the different aspects of how you can have a party, party in the bags, it can be not even have to have a long time frame, 2 weeks. It could be a 30-minute thing. So there's a lot of varieties of having parties. And so you don't even have to deviate from your regular schedule. You can just take a bag to work and ask around. So there's lots of opportunities where you just speak about it, talk about it, share a product in your everyday. You're going to go have dinner with friends or family. You just bring things, talk about it, and you don't even have to make a different time out of your schedule for it.
Oh, I love it. That was great. Thank you. Okay, let's move to the next group. Sharon's group.
Hey, Shannon. So we talked about too many consultants and also that they're not being that they're not really a salesperson. I'm just going to go over real quick, and then I was going to let Michelle talk, and if any of the other ones want to give theirs. But when I do, and we all do, we all get people that come up to us and say, no, there are so many consultants, especially here in Eastern North Carolina. That's all I hear is there's so many consultants. But really the fact of the matter is that a lot of consultants join for different reasons. And some of them don't even work their business. Some of them really do. But my answer usually is, you know what, if there is a lot of consultants, it's really on how you serve your customers. I live in a community. If there's 5 other consultants and there's 10 people that live in the community that buy Scentsy, if I serve my customers the best way possible, they're going to all come to me. It's all in how you serve. So that's what I usually tell people that come to me and they want to know, they just say there's too many consultants. I just let them know it's all in how you serve your customers. So there can be a lot of consultants, but it's on you. So I just wanted to get that out there. But Michelle wanted to share her stuff also.
Awesome. I can't hear you. Hold on.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Now I can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Okay, sorry. I was just telling them, I sent out a project broadcast about it earlier and I just got 2 messages about joining. Okay, all right. So she did too many consultants. So we also talked about, I'm not a salesperson. This is one of my favorite ones because I am definitely not a salesperson. I love to share. So that's one thing that I feel if, you have a very sharing kind of heart, a sharing mentality kind of thing, you're going to have a very successful business. If somebody approaches you and says that they're not a salesman, then say that is perfect because we don't want salesmen in this business. We want somebody that's going to be willing to share and, just have a great time because that's what it's all about. Once you get that scent under their nose, that's really all you got to do. Just pick up that, wax bar and just let them smell it. And that's all you got to do, because once they do that, then the whole sales thing goes out of the water, because at that point you've made a friend and you've made somebody that is really going to be excited to get back in touch with you and, want to learn more about how you do this. So don't ever think of it as a selling job. Think of it as a sharing opportunity. It's not really a job, it's an opportunity and a blessing that we get to share what we do. And that's my biggest thing is we don't ever want salesmen. We want people that share.
I love that. So does anyone else want to share anything? You can open up your mic and if you thought about another excuse, or if you wanted to tell us, how you excuse bust something lately. We have a minute for that if anyone wants to do that. I'm not gonna put you on the spot. Okay. Well, if you decide you want to do it, you can. Something I want you to think about, and I heard this weekend, which was really powerful. I went to a thing of Laura Godwin, and she said that she was on the beach one day and she saw her husband out there swimming in the ocean. And he was just standing there, and she's like, I really don't know how to train this weekend to really be able to get it across how important it is to be consistent every day, how important it is to be able to keep moving. And she said, and something came to me, and it was that we're either swimming or we're drowning. Because if you're out in the ocean and you're not moving and you're not treading water, then you are probably drowning. In this business, if you are not moving constantly, if you're not consistently sharing, if you are not showing up and showing the way, if you're a leader, if you are not doing those things, then your business is drowning, right? Because you are either going at it hard and just looking and I'm going there and I don't care what it takes to get there, I'm getting there. Or you're stopping and you're drowning. And there's so many times that people will drown in this business and then want to resuscitate it and not know how to and get completely frustrated and stop and quit and then see the next shiniest thing that comes along. When really, if you are completely consistent every single day, making this recruiting and this sponsoring fun, knowing that it's going to change somebody's life, you just got to keep finding that person. I mean, have you ever seen the picture of the guy who's mining and he's just swiping at the dirt and swiping at the dirt and swiping at the dirt, and he finally gives up? And if you could see on the other side that if he would have swiped one more time, he would have found gold. That's how this business is. When you stop asking, when you stop sharing, your business dies. But you're only one person away, like I told you before. So that was so good. Thank you so much for everybody who shared. And thank you for being in those breakout rooms. Did you enjoy that activity? I think it's really cool to have these interactive things to be able to do. So the next thing I'm going to move into for the next few minutes is a bar report. Now, some of you guys are going to be like, what on earth is she talking about? So I encourage you that even if you're new, to pay attention. And I encourage you, if you're a team leader, to pay attention. Every person in Scentsy has a bar report. You might start tomorrow, or you might start it today, but you're going to have a bar report, and it's a business analyst report. A lot of people say, Shannon, how do you know who to work with and when to work with them? And I'm going to be completely honest. I used to work with everybody. I used to absolutely work with everybody who wanted to be worked with. But sometimes I was investing my time in the wrong people. Sometimes I was working with the people who demanded my time and didn't deserve my time. And I had to really look back and say, how can I justify working with these people? And the way that I justify it is I go back to your bar report. I go back to my reports. I say, are they consistent in selling $200 a month? Are they consistent as a leader to get paid as a leader? Are they consistently, recruiting? Are they consistently doing this? Because now I know that whenever I work with you and I strategize with you, that we have a plan. But if I look at somebody's report and it's up and down and up and down and up and down every 4 months or so, I'm going to pretty much know they're a hobbyist, right? Because if we're going to do this full time, if we want to do this part time because we love our full time job, I'm going to see more consistency instead of these great big huge gaps of working your business. You know, a lot of times we'll listen to a podcast or we'll listen to a YouTube, or we might even be on a meeting like this and we'll get off and be so fired up. Like, yeah, I'm gonna work my business. I'm gonna send out some emails right now. I'm gonna send out some texts right now. Woohoo, these people want to smell this and they want to do this and they want to do this. And we get on fire and we start getting those orders and we start moving out. But a lot of people just do it for that one order. They forget to follow up. They forget to keep touching and loving on these people, and their business dies because they're not consistent with it. So they know how to start the fire. They just don't know how to fan it and keep it alive. And that is what coaching calls do. That is what mentoring will do. That is what these bar reports would do. We'll be able to tell you when to fan it hard and when to like kind of back off a little bit. And when you're backing off a little bit, it's because you're putting your sanity first. You're putting your family first. You're learning how to work your business in power hours instead of all the time. And you're able to see that the fire will keep going without you having to do anything with it, because you have given it just enough love, just enough fanning, just enough kindling, whatever it takes, just enough wood to be able to manage it on its own so that you can go help other people learn how to build their own fires. And it's just like teaching someone to fish. You don't want to fish for them. You don't want to do all the work for them. You want to teach them how to do it so that they can take care of their family. They can take care of their little house. And another thing before I move into this, a lot of people don't understand that in Scentsy, whenever you go up the ladder and you become a director, you're not leaving me, so to speak. If we all lived in a neighborhood right now, if you're a director and above, you have a house in my neighborhood, but you're in my neighborhood with your own home. But if you're not a director and you're directly under me, you live in my home, right? So my goal is to get you out of my house as fast as I can, because not everybody can stay in here and be comfortable. I want you to be able to go build your home, have your people with you, love your people, shine your light on those people, and know you can walk over to my house whenever you need me, whenever you want to borrow something, whenever you're saying, hey, you know what? I need some help. We're in the same neighborhood, but we're not in the same house when you become a director. So I don't ever want you to be scared of reaching director and above because you feel like you'll be alone. You're not alone. You just are in the same neighborhood. Does that make sense? Because a lot of people get so scared that they're going to be left, and you're never going to be left ever. I will not leave you. Okay, so I'm going to share this and I'm going to explain it to you. Now, we are just going to touch on it a little bit. If you want to do a full bar training with me, I am going to have a Zoom link that you guys can actually train with me on this. And you can sign up for it. But I'm going to give you an idea. So if you're brand new, you understand what I'm talking about. You may not have grown a team yet. You'll understand what I'm talking about. And if you have grown a team, you'll know what to look for. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen and go to it. So hold on a second. Let's see. Whoops, that's definitely not it. Hold on. Don't you just love it whenever things don't work out the way you wanted them to? Okay, hold on one second. It disappeared on me. Let me just open it again so you guys can see it. All right, there it is. Okay, I'm actually going to be using the booklet because I had it already for you on something, but it's all right. Okay, share screen. Here it is. Okay, can you guys see this? Okay, I'm going to go. Problem is, I wonder if I can zoom in on it. Yeah, all right. You can even go. Okay, so this is a booklet. I had to get certified in order to teach you this tonight. Okay, so, and I know a couple of you guys have already done it, but it is a bar report. So first of all, let me tell you where you find your bar report. If you go into your workstation and you go under reports, you're going to see a section that says sales report. And then it's going to say business analysis report. If you're brand new, it's still there, but you don't have much to go on. Okay. If you've been in it a while and you've been wondering what it looks like, this is where it's going to be. And I know we've talked about it before, but we're going to actually talk about it in detail tonight. So when you go into a bar report, it's going to show you your numbers. It's going to show you your consistency. It's going to show you year over year if you've been in it for a while. So when I go into mine, it goes all the way back to like 2000, and I think it only goes to 2015 or something for me, but I joined in 2009, and that's because they've only run it since then. But I'm going to give you an example. So some of you guys can open yours up right now and you can see it as we're talking. And I cannot see your bar report. Only you can see your bar report. I can only see my bar report. What I can see of yours is when I go into your information and I drill into your downline, there's going to be a chart that comes up that you can see too. And it's going to show you the different peaks of your business where you've hit certain PRV. And it's also going to show you the valleys. Okay. So I always look at that before we have a call. And never think just because you have one peak for the whole year, but I'm not going to talk to you. If you come to me and you're serious about this business, like, you know what? I am ready to turn it on. You got my attention. But whenever we set up accountability and when we set up action plans for you and you don't do them, then that tells me you're not interested. And I wait until you come back around again, because I'm not going to chase ghosts like I have in the past. And I'm just telling you, if this is something you want to do, we will totally do it, because I am here for you and your directors are here for you. So if you've been in Scentsy for a while, you are going to see something like this. Can you guys see it okay? I wish I could zoom in. I do not know how to zoom in. Let's see if it'll let me zoom in. I don't think it will, but it might. Zoom in. Okay, that helped a little bit, didn't it? All right, let's see if we do it one more time. Zoom in. Ah, okay, that helped a little bit. At least I can see it better. So you can see here, this consultant, if you look at this table right here, we're going to answer some questions. First of all, if you're brand new, PRV is personal retail volume. That is dollar for dollar what you put in for Scentsy. TWV is your team wholesale volume. Whenever you become a director and above, you will be looking at your team wholesale volume. GWV is your group wholesale volume. Group wholesale volume, you never have to worry about until you are a director and you have another director underneath you, because that's whenever you're looking at the whole group. Okay. And this is a very detailed training that if you are a director or a leader and above, I will do with you, but I'm not going to like waste our time right now talking about this. I want to talk about the key points. AFL, this is active frontline. In order for you to be able to promote in Scentsy, to be able to become a lead consultant, you have to at least have one active frontline. The difference between active and current is active means that month they have $200 in sales. Okay. Current means they have put $200 in within the year, or they put $200 in within the 4 months or whatever. But active is the month that they have $200 in, and you will see it on your little circle and it tells you you are active. Okay. In order to promote, you're going to have active frontline underneath you. So that is why you can see all these numbers for this person. Okay, this is just a dummy thing that Scentsy has on here. So let's look at this question. Take a look at the table below and use it to answer the questions. What is the comparison data for group wholesale volume from June 8, 2018 to June 2019? So you can look here and you can see in 2018, at the very bottom, they totaled up everything. And they can say, okay, well, the group wholesale volume for June was 45,710. If we go to the next year where it says the group wholesale volume is 33,421, we can tell that that person had a drop in their team numbers, probably their sale numbers. Something has happened in that year that has decreased their wholesale volume. Okay. Then if you look at their PRV here, well, you can see in 2018, they had 24,699. And in 2019, they had 24,920. There was not that much of a difference in this person and their PRV sales. So therefore, we got to look at their leadership. We got to look at their active frontline, the people that are working the business, and we know how to train them with team building because obviously they got their sales going on, right? Okay. So if we come down here, this is also showing you that this is a comparison of where you are at a certain point in one year compared to the next year. So it's the same kind of thing where you can look at your year and you can see how many people did you recruit, how many people, do you have active? But here it's going to show you if you are a director or above, what I can see. I can see that how many certified people I have, how many lead I have, how many star consultant, and how many superstar consultants I have. Okay. If I am a director and above, I can see how many directors I have, how many star directors I have, and how many superstar directors. So if you have a team of 1 or above, you're going to be able to see this same report whenever you go in and see it. All right. Okay. So let's see if we can make this bigger because this sure is very small. I had it all blown up. Oh, wait, there's a zoom button right there. Oh, yeah. Did that help here? Oh, yeah, it did. Okay. So if you're looking at your bar report here and you want to analyze data, you're going to see whenever you hit downline report in your reporting on your workstation, it's going to show you PRV, TWV, GWV, like we just talked about, active frontline, group number, team number, new recruits. Whenever you're telling me, hey, I can't recruit, nobody wants to join my team, I'm going to run a report on you and I'm going to see when there's the last time that you had a recruit. Maybe 1 month you had 4 and you haven't had any in a while. That makes me know that you can recruit, you have recruited. So we're going to go back to what were you doing then that you were sponsoring that you're not doing now? What were you doing then that's not working? What are you doing now that is working? This chart tells us so much about your business and about your life than you even know. There's so many times that people will coach with me and I can just look at their numbers and say, this is what's going on in your life. During this time and this time, something really bad happened in your life. Right here, you were high on life, what was going on. But this is something that is super important. And like I said, we're just touching on a little bit of it tonight. I will do a full detailed training on this that you guys can sign up for. And it doesn't matter if you're brand new or if you've been in it a while, you are welcome to sign up for the training I'm going to do. Okay. I really wish I had my thing that I had done. All right. So we're not going to worry about director stuff right now. What we are going to work on is this right here. So if I have someone on my team and there's one in here that I actually copied. Hold on. Let me find it. I hate that I'm having to go through the whole book, but I am. All right. This is one right here, I think. All right. Now, if I am working with someone and this is their, let me go in so you guys can see it. Can you see that? Pretty good. All right. And they are working to become a star director, so to speak. This is a director one, but just to let you know, I am always looking for their PRV numbers because in order to get paid on anyone underneath you, whether you are a lead consultant or above, you have to have $500 in every single month to get paid on someone. I'm looking at team volume because team volume tells me where you are. So if you are a certified consultant trying to become a lead consultant, then you're going to need at least $1,000. So let me move to the one that's a lead consultant. Here it is. All right. This is a perfect one right here. This is a bar report for someone who is working on promoting. And it says, identify and write down 2 areas of focus to help the star consultant be able to grow their business and include more in their income. So right now, some of you guys are at this right now. So I want you to pay attention to this. This is the bar report for a star consultant that wants to promote. You can see they had a promotion somewhere in here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. I don't think you can. But if you look at after February, they went to star consultant. So they had a promotion. And some of you guys are star consultants right now. And you're like, how do I move to superstar consultant? Right? So pay attention. If you are a lead and you want to get to a star, it's the same kind of thing. First of all, your PRV has to be $500 or higher. Your group wholesale volume will have to be at the next level to promote. So you can see here, it says paid at title. That's because this person in January, they're a lead consultant. They had a PRV, meaning personal retail volume, way over 500. They had a group wholesale volume, which they don't even really have to worry about that. But their team wholesale volume, basically, you can see is 2611. They had one active frontline, right? They have 6 people in their team, but only one person is an active frontline underneath them that is active. They might have 6 people directly underneath them. That means that one person has put in $200 that is directly underneath them. Okay. So you can see that they're going to get paid at title because they have hit the quotas for lead consultant. They've actually hit it for star consultant right here, but they don't have 2 active frontline. Okay. Does anyone have any questions before I keep going? You can write them in the chat. I'll just keep going if you don't have any, because some of this, it might be over your head, and I apologize, but I really want to get you guys familiarized with what Scentsy has in the workstation for you. Okay. All right. So you can see here, up here at the top in that little chart at the top, it says, if you're a lead consultant, you have to have $500 a month. You alone have to have $500 a month. Your team wholesale volume, which is your group wholesale volume, is the same thing until you become a director. So don't worry about it. Is $1,000 in wholesale volume. Now, let me explain to you wholesale. Wholesale is 75% of what you get paid. When you get your paycheck, you're getting paid off of the wholesale value. If you look at your PRV, they're going to take 25% of that, if you're certified and above, and pay you on that. The rest of it is what you're going to promote with, and it's what you are going to grow with your Scentsy business. We cannot use that to be able to hit these promotions because we've already gotten 25% of that 100% in our commission. Does that make sense? Do you know how many times I missed director because I did not understand that? I missed it so many times because I thought that I needed $10,000, which is director, in retail volume of all my people underneath me. I didn't understand it was wholesale volume. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. So if you are a lead consultant right now, or even if you are a certified consultant right now, or essential, whatever, in order to get to your first leadership level, that is going to be lead consultant. Okay. You will need $1,000 group wholesale volume. Now, what does that mean? Retail? Anytime that you need to figure this out, you divide it by 0.75. So if you need a group wholesale volume or team wholesale volume of a certain amount, divide it by 0.75, and that will give you what you need in retail for your whole team. So if you were to divide $1,000 by 0.75, you're going to get 1,333. That is all the retail that you're going to need. So if you only have $500 yourself, your other teammates and you have to come up with the rest for 1,333 for you to get paid a title or for you to become a lead consultant if you are certified with someone underneath you. Does that make sense to you? You can shake your head if you understand. Yes? No? Yes? Okay. All right. So down below here, she wants to become a superstar consultant. And this is her bar report right now. So you can see she's gotten paid at title in January and February as a lead consultant. In March, she became a star consultant. Her PRV is way over 500. So as far as her hitting her 500, then she is hitting leadership numbers right there. Okay. I will tell you this. You can put in $500 and have one person underneath you. And if you do not hit that 1,000 group wholesale volume, you will not get paid as a lead consultant. All right. If you have $1,000 and that one person underneath you gets $200 and they're active, you still will not hit the 1,333. You have to be able to hit that retail number, which corresponds to the wholesale volume of the what you need for your promotion. Okay. So if you're following this along with me, in March and April, in March, she became a star consultant. Now let's look at how she became one. All right. First of all, she had over $500 in PRV. Her team together, if you look, her team has 7 people on it. So altogether, they did $3,726. So to become a star consultant, you have to have at least $2,500 group wholesale volume. If you want to figure out the retail, you divide it by 0.75, which equals 3,333. Okay, so you can see here, she hit over 2,500 in group wholesale volume. She also had 2 people that were directly underneath her, active frontline, 2 people underneath her. She hit every requirement in order to promote, therefore she promoted. All right. You can also see that she has 3 certified consultants underneath her, 0 lead consultants, 1 star consultant, and then SSC, which is superstar consultant, no one. So you can see her promotions within her team as well. Okay. So if we move to April, she has the same thing. She's hit her numbers. Okay. Then May comes. She's a star consultant at title, but she did not hit her numbers. So can someone tell me where she did not hit her numbers in chat? If you look at it, she did over PRV of 500 or more. Where did she not hit her numbers? See if anybody can tell me here. Active frontline, exactly. She also did not hit it with her team wholesale volume. She has 1,881, not 2,500. So she missed it with somebody underneath her, decided they weren't going to be active that month. They only had 1. And she also didn't hit it with her team sales. Okay. Now you can see she has 6 people on her team at that point. So somebody probably coached her and said, hey, you know what? In order to make your odds better in hitting your numbers, you need to recruit. You need to teach your team how to recruit. So if you look the next month, she now has 12 people on her team, not 6 anymore, right? But guess what? She didn't get paid at title again. She still had 1 person that was active. She did not hit her 2,500 and she hit her 520, but she did not get paid at title. So my advice to this person, if I were to coach them, I would tell her, this is what we need to do. We need to work on your team. We need to work on getting people active, and we need to work on people's PRV. We need to find out why people are not selling, why people are not sharing, why people are not recruiting. And we would start working at her team, not just her, because she's hitting her 500 every single month. Okay. So then you can see again in July, she's over 500. She did not hit her active frontline. She lost a team member somewhere in there, and she didn't hit her numbers. So if we go all the way down here to the very bottom, it says, no, 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 no. How are we going to coach her? What are we going to say to her? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, where she's sitting at star consultant title, but she's not getting paid at star consultant title. Do you know what she's getting paid at? She's getting paid at lead consultant because she's only hitting $1,000 in group wholesale volume, and she's only having 1 active frontline. Does that make sense to you? So when I'm looking at this and I'm trying to help this person, I'm able to say, hey, you know what? In January, you were a lead consultant. Now you're a star consultant. And the difference is that that other person was active. So we need to figure out what happened here, or we need to recruit. Because there's so many times that I've seen people go up to Orville and Chuck and all of them as a star director, and they've been stuck at star director for years. And they're like, my team won't work. My team won't work. I can't get the volume. My team won't work. He's like, hey, why are you working with something that's not going to work? You need to go out there and you need to sponsor, and you need to find excitement, and you need to build again. Because a lot of times we try and work with people that aren't wanting to work, or maybe their life seasons of their life are making it to where they don't want to do it right now. It's not working for them. So we cannot make people work. What we can control are the conversations that we have, the people that we talk to, our own sales, our own follow-up, right? We cannot control what anyone else does. So the best way to be able to beat those odds is to talk to more people. The more people you talk to, the more chances you are that someone's going to join your team. Normally 1 out of every 10 people you talk to will join your team. 2 or 3 out of 10 will host a party for you. There'll be people who give you referrals. But if you're not talking to that many people and you're only talking to one person, then you're not going to be recruiting at all. If you say to me, hey, Shannon, this month I'm going to recruit 4 people because we have a $49 deal. Do you know what I'm going to say to you? You need to have 40 conversations. 40, not 4, 40. Because 1 out of 10 people are going to join you. It's statistically proven. So 40 conversations, and then you get back to me, and everybody who said no to you, guess what? You got new VIP customers. You got people who know you're serious about the business. You got people that are going to be watching you, and you got people that you can come back around and you can talk to them when you have your next special, when you have an earn a kit, whenever you have something to be able to offer them that's going to change their life. 40 new customers or either 4 new teammates. That's a win-win. What do you think? So that is one of the bar report that they use as an example for us to be able to study, because when we're talking to someone, or even if we're looking at this and as our own, we're saying, okay, the areas of focus I need to work on. And if I were their director, I would say to them, you need to work on recruiting to get more active frontline, right? That's what you can control, your conversations. And we need to talk to your team about PRV ideas to be able to help them get sales. Do you understand this? Is this making sense to you? Is this helping you? Good. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up with an action plan, which is going to be, hold on, let me get to it. This is in your workstation right here that you can pull up. Whenever I am going to do a coaching call with you, guess what? I am going to use this action plan that Scentsy has set up. I am not going to recreate the wheel, try and come up with some pretty little system that Shannon came up with. I am going to use what works, what's been proven to work, and I'm not recreating anything. We are going to look at numbers, hard numbers, and we are going to figure out when you had that high month, why did you have it? Did you have an event? Were you buying up stock? Because I don't want you doing that. I do not want you ever using your family money to support Scentsy. Ever. Now, if you're your best customer and you need the washer whiffs and the laundry stuff and the cleaning stuff and the diffusers and the oils and the fragrance flowers, great. But you can get it free and half off also. You know that, right? By having parties and giving people unique shopping links and taking the extra half off to be able to give you things, or to be able to get you things that you can sell at events. I don't want you having to buy things, because that takes away the whole party purpose of this. And when I say party, it doesn't mean that you have to have a home party. It doesn't mean that you have to have someone come over and have all their friends together. A party is a $200 qualifying order. That's what I mean by party. If you give someone a unique shopping link and they get it to $200, they now have free stuff, half off stuff, and you have that perpetual reward you can use as a half off to get that laundry love that you want for half off, right? Or you can actually offer that kit to them now because they are earning that kit if they want to join Scentsy. Something that I always do that helps me so much is if someone has a unique shopping link, or if they have turned in a basket party to me and they're over $200, I will put that kit in for free and take a picture of it and say, hey, look, you unlocked a kit, a Scentsy kit. It's only going to cost you $39 to join because it took $20 of your free stuff away. Or it's going to cost you $59 and you can use your free stuff and your half off stuff. Or if they have a $500 party, guess what? You just earned the whole kit free. Sometimes just using the words unlock, or sometimes just showing them, look what you did, is enough to push them over the edge if they're even considering it. And that's something that I do a lot, is the tools that I use. So if we were to do an action plan, these are the things I want you to think about. I want you to think about, number one, I want you to go and look at your bar report. Now, if you are brand new, that means that you are starting out a bar report to be able to reflect back on a month from now, a year from now. But this is going to be your blueprint of your Scentsy journey. Okay. So I want you to create an action plan. And I want you to look and say, okay, you know what? I am stuck at lead consultant. I cannot get to star consultant. What do I need to do? Well, I see here that I had that one active frontline and they quit. And now I don't have anybody on my team, but yet I am a lead consultant still, but I have nobody on my team. That's no problem. You're not going to lose your title, but you are not getting paid at title. So that means that you're going to have to learn how to start sponsoring again. And then you're going to have to go with your PRV ideas. Okay. So I want you to think about this. What will you do? What is your goals for this business? Now, if you are in here and you're a hobbyist, that's fantastic. Guess what? I was too. I joined for the discount and only the discount. I didn't want to do a party. I didn't want to be a leader. I didn't want to do any of that jazz. I just wanted my house to smell good. But God had other plans and I couldn't keep my mouth shut. So I kept recruiting people because I just love Scentsy so much. And my passion was like a fire that I could not extinguish. And that is something that you will find when you get that first team member under you. You're going to get a high that you never had before. I've had people call me and go, I got my first baby. I got my first team. And you're so excited. That's where your onboarding comes in. That's whenever you can help guide them to be able to have success in this business. That's when I tell you to invite them to our team page, invite them to our meetings to be able to get them all the information that they need to start out strong. Because if you don't do that, and they don't get that kind of guidance, so they don't see that kind of support, they're probably not going to want to show up, right? So that is why it is so important for you to consistently work your business every day. People are watching you. Do you know how good it made me feel whenever the other day there was a little thing put on Facebook and it said, when you think of 3 things, what do you think of with me? Or, when you think of me, what is something you think I would love? And people started saying horses and God and family. And some people said Scentsy. But the thing is, they know who I am. They know me as Shannon Grant, a human being who loves her family, loves to ride horses, has faith, and she does Scentsy, right? I used to want to be the Scentsy queen. I used to want to be, man, when they know me, they got to know I know Scentsy, and that is what I do. But the problem was, over years, when I started to get that identity as here's the Scentsy lady, I would show up at the baseball games, and I would show up at different places and be like, oh, here she comes, run! Because it was all I focused on. The sales, right? And recruiting. That's all I focused on. Now, that is important. Don't get me wrong. But you've got to build those relationships. If you message someone and ask them to join your team and you've never really even talked to them about anything in their life and they ghost you and they block you, yeah, you probably deserved it because you have not built a relationship with them. And that is what I was doing. I was so focused on everything with Scentsy. Scentsy can make everything better. It's all good. That I didn't care about what anyone else thought. I didn't care about anyone else's life. I didn't care about anything except me. And it was a hard pill to swallow. And it was early on, whenever I really sat down and my husband and I had to talk, and he's like, this thing is working out for you, but how's it working out for them too? I'm like, oh yeah, there is that. Because what happens is you get so excited about something and then you're like, oh, I'm running and my team's running with me. And then all of a sudden I'm ahead and I keep running. I never look back and see anyone else with me. It's the same way with your customers. You have got to build those relationships with people to be able to have those conversations so that whenever they say no the 5th time or they give you that great big order of it, you're like, why don't you join already? Come on, join already. You've already made $520 this year. If you would have joined underneath me, right? I'm just being vulnerable. I am being transparent. I am telling you in 13 years of doing Scentsy that I have probably experienced every excuse, every situation. I have made every mistake. I am not perfect and I continue to make them. But my goal is not to be the smartest person in the room. My goal is to always be able to learn, to be able to like a sponge and just soak it in, because I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I want to be the Scentsy lady that when they think of Scentsy, they think of happiness and they think of me riding on my horse. I don't want to be the Scentsy lady they think of that's going to go find them at a baseball game and make them smell scents and they can't get away from me because they're watching their kids play and they're trapped. Does that make sense to you? Because that is your pushy salesperson right there. That is that spammy salesperson right there. So when you're looking at your bar report and you're like, I need to get more people, I need to sponsor, you need to step back and say, how am I doing that? What skills do I have? What skills do I need to develop to be able to make me more effective in sponsoring, in being able to help serve my team, right? Who can help me? Who can help me? Yes, there's Shannon. Yes, there's my directors. Yes, there's my leaders. But guess what? There's a workstation full of trainings. There's YouTube's. Well, I'm going to tell you what, YouTube's, you got to be really careful with YouTube's because you can follow the wrong people there. What I tell you about that is trust your heart. Figure out who you are. Don't cut yourself out to be someone else. For so many years, again, I watched those YouTubes. Be like, I'm going to be like her. And I would be like her. My team would know it immediately that I was not being me. My customers would know immediately I was not being me. I was cookie cutting someone who was having results and having success. But guess what? It wasn't meant for me. That's not who God made me. God made me someone who has a servant's heart. God made me someone that when I hear no, they don't want to sell Scentsy, guess what? They might need help in their garden next week. So Shannon's going to show up and help them in their garden. They might need somebody to help babysit for them because they haven't gotten away on a date with their husband. And then later on, they're going to be like, you know what? Shannon isn't all about Scentsy. She's about really helping us. She's about seeing my heart. She really cares. There's a difference, guys. I'm telling you. You need to look at what challenges that you need to prepare for in this business, and you need to look at the obstacles that you have in front of you right now that you see as these gigantic hurdles to not help you get to the other side. It's the stories you tell yourself. It is the trainings that we have done in the past of all those red light stories that you tell yourself that you're not enough, that you don't matter, that what you have won't make a difference, that you got to change. And you got to wake up tomorrow morning with a different mindset and get out there and know there are people that are waking up to meet you. Know that there are lives that you can change. Know that there's mamas right now that are kissing their babies at daycare and crying because they don't want to leave them. They just want to stay home with them. Knowing there are people like me that were stuck at a job that I missed so many recitals and so many things because it was all about their deadlines, not mine. They didn't give a crap that I had a 5-year-old that was going to be in her first ballet recital. They just wanted that pharmaceutical drug to pass, and they were going to keep me there till midnight until it did. I'm telling you, there are people that have so many situations when they go to sleep at night that they pray for an answer, and you guys could be that answer just by offering the opportunity. So I'm asking all of you guys, I'm sorry I kept you on here for a really long time tonight, but I really hope that this helped you. I'm asking you to be brave. I'm asking you to get out there and bet on yourself that you can make a difference in someone's life. If you go and change lives, your life will be better in this business and hit the things that you want. If you want to have a bigger paycheck, if you want to go on those trips, if you want to be able to walk across the stage, if you want to be something that you've always dreamed of being, if you want to have a new car, or if you want to go get a pedicure and just have an extra $40 a month because you have a $200 party this month, that you can go and get a pedicure because you didn't have that $40 before. It's up to you. All you got to do is be brave. Be brave and then ask those people to come along with you on this journey and learn together. You don't have to know everything. I promise you don't have to know everything. All you have to do is ask and guide them. Okay? So I am going to do a full training on this, and I will put it on our page and I will open it up to everyone because I just wanted to show you guys what's possible and how you're going to make money in this business is by the lives that you change. If you look at your check and you want more zeros at the end of it, then you need to think of it as more lives and more people you need to talk to. Because if you want the $10,000 a month check that can happen, guess how many people you have to talk to? Probably 1,000. I mean, serious, a lot. But if you make it a lifestyle and you make it consistent in your life, it'll be just like breathing. It'll be something you're so happy to be able to share. And it'll be okay if they don't want it. It's okay. Just like Shannon didn't want the peppermint gum. But I finally knew the gummy bears is what she would sit and eat with me. So you figure out how to fill that gap in somebody's life of a problem that you can solve for them or something that will help bless them, and you will have new team members. So I'm going to let you guys go because I know it's late. I really appreciate you guys giving me this time tonight. I really hope that this has helped you. And I'm going to stop here. And this is recorded. So if you do want to share it with your teams, it's also on our Facebook page. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for investing in you, your family, and your business by sharing the opportunity with others and by showing up. Okay? Love you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.